Welcome to online classes. Good morning to everybody. Hope all of you are well. Now, today I will explain from page number 19 of the story, The Selfish Giant, from English Literature Reader. Before today's explanation from the story, I will refer 2-3 sentences as a continuation. And the giant stole up behind him and took him gently in his hand and put him up into the tree. And the tree broke at once into blossom, and the birds came and sang on it. And the little boy stretched out his 2 arms and flung them round the giant's neck and kissed him. It was from the book. It is a reference from the last lecture of 6th May. Now, I'll start today's explanation. I will read minimum 2-3 sentences or 3-4 lines. Here start. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, came running back, and with them came the spring. When the other children observed that the giant was not evil anymore, then the other children came back. Along with them, the spring entered in the garden. Explanation number 2. When the other children watched that the giant was not horrible anymore, then the other children came rushing back in the garden. At the same time, the spring appeared in the garden with them. Now it is go for third explanation. The giant was not immoral. It was viewed by the other children who went away from the garden a little before. So the other children, overjoyed, and back to the garden. Along with them there was a companion, that is spring. Next, from the book. It is your garden now, little children, said the giant, and he took a great axe and knocked down the wall. Here is the explanation. 1. The giant declared that the garden belonged to the children, and then he took a big axe and dropped down the wall. Explanation number 2. The giant confirmed that garden was the children's garden and it was not belong to him. Then he grasped a large axe and demolished the boundary wall of the garden. Explanation number 3. The giant announced that his garden then belonged to the children. It is belonged to the children. After saying that, he grabbed a huge axe and destroyed the wall of the garden. Now from the book. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they found the giant playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Here is the explanation. And the people were approaching to the market at 12 o'clock. They watched. The giant was Sporting with the children in the most delightful garden the people had never seen like this beautiful sight. Explanation 2. When the people of that village were proceeding to the market at 12 o'clock, they noticed the giant was playing games with the children in the most magnificent garden the people of the village had never observed like this delightful sight. Explanation number 3. When the villagers were passing to the market at 12 o'clock, they noticed the giant was participating in games. The children were also playing with him in the attractive garden. The villagers never looked like this in this heavenly garden. Explanation for the first recording is over.